Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the 57th installment of 57th installment of Black Girls on Television. One more week, you guys, and Black Girls on Television will be on hiatus. Scandal season finale is actually next week. And thank goodness for that. We get a little break on Black Girls on Television. I am going to be reviewing Insecure, but that's not going to be part of Black Girls on Television. That's just going to be a standalone video on its own, okay? Let's get to it, shall we? Not that I'm complaining, but I did this whole fucking video already once before, and there was not enough memory left on my computer, so I had to erase some files, and what I recorded didn't save. So this is my second time doing a full review for Scandal. Anyway, you guys, the world can be at rest. The drone situation is taken care of. They're neutralized, and now it is time to move our country into a new direction. There will be a smooth transition of power. Mellie will be taking over the reins, given to her by her ex-husband Fitz Grant. And Fitz is happy that he can get out of this fucking office, okay, and get into Olivia's bed. Yes, you guys, lips look like it's a thing again. We're gonna have to deal with it for the last season, I can already tell. And they look happy. I must say it is kind of cute to kind of see them. It's sort of like seeing an old couple that then broke up and got a divorce get back together again. I can't get my words together this morning. Again. They get dressed for the day, get ready to go to their respective offices, and Olivia tells Fitz that he needs to forgive Abby. I mean, you got her hanging around. You either need to forgive her or you need to let her go. But this in limbo space is not good for her. I mean, I forgave her. Why can't you? So they kiss goodbye and they head off to their separate places. Fitz gets to his office and he's talking to Abby. Abby is giving him the schedule, and you know he's got quite a few things going on. His interviews, his last interview. It's his last week or two of presidency. So yeah, a lot going on. He's giving her the brush off. Okay, thank you. How about you take the rest of the day off and work from home? She was like, work from home? I've never worked from home in the past. Why would I do that now? I've always dedicated my whole entire life to this White House, and I've worked for you, with you in this office. But all of a sudden you want me to work from home. Listen, I told you that shit that I told you that I did because I needed a friend, and I asked you to be that friend. I did not know you was going to hold it against me. If you feel like you can't forgive me, fine. I will work from home. What really annoys me on this show is the self-righteousness of everybody. Now, everybody done fucking killed somebody. Everybody done made some terrible decisions. Everybody has done shit to each other, yet and still when it doesn't convene them, then they hold a grudge or are upset about something. I mean, Abby, yeah, she almost got her killed, but a lot of people have done a lot of things on here, and it just really gets on my nerves that people just hold on to shit and don't realize all of the wrong that they have done. That is a pet peeve of mine with all of the motherfuckers on this damn show. So I guess Abby takes it on home. Okay, now David can't get it out of his mind about old Ponytail Day. Okay, so he goes to Eli's office, and honey, Eli is on his way to White Sands and Blue Waters. Okay, he is retired, and that is all he is thinking about. Packing up his shit, he is leaving that office. Okay, why are you here, David? I know you're not coming down here trying to start no shit, right? I am free and clear, right? Yeah, okay, the Vargas thing is situated, and I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, no, I'm not here for that. Not in any official capacity. I am here personally. Okay, well, what do you need? Well, I can't get it out of my mind. Ponytail Day, she told me a couple of names, Samantha, Grace. I need to figure out who she really is. Okay, maybe if you had something here like some DNA that I can run and test and just kind of find out who she is, you know, dental records, anything like that. Okay, first Eli is like, listen, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I ain't got time to be fucking with you with no damn Grace or Samantha, Ponytail Day, whatever it is. He's like, oh, I get it. You're trying to leave. You're going on retirement permanently. I'll get out of your hair. And I guess Eli feels sorry for me. Hey, listen, I might have something for you. Next scene, we see David showing up at Abby's house. She's working from home, so she's home. She opens the door and he has a box. As soon as I saw the box, I said, child, he got this lady head. He was like, hey, listen, I need a favor. She's just like, what do you need, David? He says, I just need to use your refrigerator, your freezer, because I need to put this in there. All right, she's looking at him like, what the fuck is this? He sets it on down for her to look in there. She looks in there. She's like, is that a head? Yes, that would be Ponytail Day's head in that box. You know, Abby is all freaked out. Listen, don't get all freaked out. I'm not asking you to keep the head. I just need it to be cold until Jake can get here and retrieve it. Okay, he's gonna be here in a couple of hours, and then you won't have to worry about it no more. So she lets him put it in the refrigerator. I was just like, absolutely not. There is no fucking way I'm putting somebody's head. I'm not sure what the hell might float up off of a damn head that's been chopped off and just in my refrigerator with my damn food and meats and juices and all of that. No, enzymes floating. Child, you don't never know. Hell no, that bitch ain't gonna, especially that bitch. That child is crazy. That's crazy enzymes floating. But she lets him put the head in there. Now, Jake shows up as promised, and he is getting the DNA. You know, they kind of all joking around about the fact that she has a head in her house. Once he finishes getting the DNA, extracting it, he's like, okay, put it back on ice. I'll be back for it later. She was like, no, you're not leaving this head here at my house. He was just like, why not? She's like, because I am the chief of staff. I work for the president of the United States. I mean, what is it going to look like me having somebody's fucking head in my refrigerator? That is not right. This is not right. Okay. And I don't want the head in there. He was like, listen, you don't have no right to say what is right or wrong. I said, here we go again. Now, these motherfuckers kill boatloads of people, but Abby almost gets one person killed, and it's a problem. It gets on my fucking nerves. Okay. But anyway, he guilts her into it, and what can she do? She puts the fucking head back in her freezer. Now let's jump over to Quinn and the gladiators. Quinn is about to get married. She's excited. They're talking about, you know, whatever they're talking about. Liv busts in, and she's like, you know, she throws a box on the desk and she says, listen, we got to make sure that Fitz has a really good last week in the office, and now we've got to start looking through these cases and trying to find a great case for Fitz to pardon. It has to be a case that can be proved that he was wrongfully accused, so you guys look through this and see what you can come up with. So she's all extra demandy. So they gladiators are going over, you know, the cases, and they come upon this Bobby the Bigot case. And child, I never get interested in when they have these side stories running alongside the main story on Scandal. They do it quite often, and a lot of times I just kind of tone it out. This is one of those ones. But basically, Bobby the Bigot, this bigot was killed, this racist was killed, and they put a black man in jail for it. Said that he hung him, I believe is what they said. And for whatever reason, it sticks out. Okay, when Quinn is trying to go over the evidence with the other gladiators and Olivia is distracted. She's looking at her phone. Okay, they're asking her for her input, and she was like, listen, I gotta go help Millie vet her cabinet, but you guys got it, right? So she leaves, and Quinn is upset. What the fuck was that? How's she just gonna leave in the middle of something when she said that it's important that we need to do this? Okay, so Quinn is upset that their head gladiator is not leading them. Back at the White House, Marcus is talking to Fitz about his final interview, the speech, you know, what he needs to talk about, how to be passionate. Okay, but show your flaws. You know, Fitz, flaws? What flaws? Fitz doesn't think that he has any flaws, remember, because Fitz thinks that he is perfect. Anyway, they're talking about what his foundation, you know, what he's going to do after he leaves the presidency. And it comes down to the fact that Marcus got to put it plain for him that, you know, you ain't really got much touch with what's going on in the inner cities. Okay, Chicago, okay, St. Louis, all right, the D. It's the D. You don't know what the fuck the D is. Marcus was just like, let me not even say nothing, okay? I'm just saying that you don't have much, you know, contact, and people don't really think you do anything for those underrepresented people. You know, Fitz, who do you think you're talking to? Marcus was like, all right, I guess we gonna go here with it. All right, sir. Listen, whatever you believe is going to be best in your speech, I'm sure that will be the decision that it will be best for you to make. You want to backpedal and pussy pop, as James and Alex always says, then fine. Okay, I know my place, bossa. So I'm going to stand over here and I'm going to just do whatever you tell me to do, sir. Marcus leaves out of the room. Throughout this whole episode, Fitz is on one and having to remind everybody of the power that he has. I guess this is how he has to be, considering he's about to lose quite a bit of that power when he leaves the office. Now, the gladiators is working on this Bobby, you know, Bigot pardon. Bobby the Bigot pardon. The kid's name is Sean. He's a black guy. He's in jail. You know, Quinn is taking a liking to him. She's going down to the jail. She's talking to him, and she promises that she is going to get him out of jail. They get some information on some bar that some shit didn't went down. Like I said, I wasn't paying much attention to it. But they go down to the bar and they're talking to the bartender. Of course, when they walk in, you know, the gladiators hug Quinn. It's like a hick type bar. You can tell everybody in there is fucking racist, playing pool and drinking and all of that. They're talking to the bartender about Bobby the bigot and Sean. And long story short, the bartender is actually the one that killed Bobby, not Sean, but you know, Sean took the rap for it. He's fine with that because the nigga is in jail where he's supposed to be, and you know, he's white and he's right, and it's good. Him and his boys is out, and if you guys gonna give us any problems here, then we can take care of this right now. Okay, all his boys pull out guns and shit, and he says, and why don't you leave and take Nacho with you? Bitch, not Nacho. Talking about Huck. Child, I said that is the wrong person to try to upset, okay? So, of course, Huck is able to take over one of the guys that got the gun on him and gets both of the guns and points it at them, you know. Quinn pulls out her gun, and then Charlie is hidden over somewhere, and he pulls his gun out. So now they have the place under control. You know, it was sort of like, yeah, motherfucker, on you. Okay, and when they leave, and, you know, Huck, before they leave, Huck goes on and fucks the bartender up, smashes his head up against the bar. That shit was funny. Nacho. Now, back at the office, Liv is helping Melly vet, and she's talking about Marcus. What about him being on her cabinet? And she was just like, yeah, no, me and Marcus, it's over. And Olivia's like, well, it doesn't have to be over. I mean, y'all can lay low for 8 years, however long you're in office, and then afterwards, maybe. But, you know, Melly is just like, not really listening, but I know that Melly would like for Marcus to stay there. Later on that night, Liv goes and has dinner with her father. Okay, and she's trying to get him to stay. I mean, you know, listen, you can be here. You don't have to leave now. The coast is clear. And he's like, listen, I already told you I'm retiring. I'm going to the white sands, the blue waters. That's all he could think about. Besides, you don't need anybody like me around because you are in power now. You don't need a weakness. You don't need anybody around that is going to deter you from the goal. Okay, power is a whole lot. And you have it now. You have the oval. I'm so proud of you. You got the oval, not even on your back. Okay, well, kinda. But you're not the first lady. You actually have real power. So it's time for me to go, let you be free and clear to be as ruthless as you need to be with this power, and you don't have to worry about me. Well, Olivia says, listen, Dad, I'm not like you. I'm not like Mom. I haven't seen the things that you guys have seen. I haven't done the things that you guys have done. Basically, she's saying that she can love and be ruthless if she has to. But Eli is just like, yeah, baby girl, keep on living. He knows it doesn't work like that. We've seen that it doesn't work like that in this last season. So he's telling her he's got to go. Okay, she was just like, well, why don't you just take a break and you come on back, and you know, we can get together at night and we can toss over the world's problems and try to solve them together. Nope, I'm sorry, daughter, I'm gonna have to leave. I'm afraid that this is goodbye. Okay, and he walks out, and I said, oh, I'm surely gonna miss Eli. Now back at Abby's house, it's nighttime now. Is she not with Leo anymore? Why is Leo not there? Anyway, she's in bed trying to sleep, and David comes in and he's like, listen, I can't sleep. I can't sleep because there's a head in the refrigerator. Okay, I don't want to leave here because there's a head in the refrigerator. I don't want you to be here with the head by yourself, but I can't sleep. So she tells him to get in the bed with her. And they get in the bed, and then they start commiserating about their problems. Okay, how they each thought that the White House was going to be something different. You know, what came with power. He wanted to be honorable. He wanted to make a difference. He wanted to contribute positively to this administration and to the United States as his position as Attorney General. You know, Abby says, yeah, well, I got you beat. I've always thought that I wasn't the best person, but I never thought that I was the evil person. So she starts feeling bad on her, down on her luck, bad about the shit that she's done. And, you know, David, he tries to comfort her. You know, he brings her close and kisses her head. I said, oh, this is cute. It looks like David and Abby will be back together again next season. And considering David is a wimp and, you know, he can't never quite get his woman shit together anyway. I mean, I guess Abby is fine. As good as any of the rest of the women that he's been with. So, cool. Now, Liv goes to her office. Quinn tells her, hey, I got this case. Is Bobby the bigot? We need to pardon Sean. Okay, he is not guilty. Liv says, well, that's fine. Where's the proof? And she says, well, I don't have any proof. She says, you don't have any proof? And no, it's just in my gut. Okay, we remember that Olivia said a long time ago that sometimes she just feels shit in her gut, and she goes with that. Olivia's like, I can't be going by your fucking gut. This is something big for the presidency. All right, I need solid proof. I'm not putting my fucking office on the line for no bullshit about your damn gut. Quinn says, who are you right now? Okay, what happened to you being the gladiator and working for the people? Do you not care about the people anymore? You know, she goes on and one of her damn Shonda Rhimes speeches. I said, oh, God. Here we go, child. I can't even, but you know, it's the same one that we always get about I am woman, hear me roar. And when she finishes, Olivia's looking at her like, bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to? This is my office. Last time I checked, it say Olivia Pope on the damn door. Okay, I pay the motherfucking lease around here. All right. I told you to get some damn solid proof. I'm not saying nothing until you do. So with that being said, you can get the hell up out of my office and close the door behind you. I was just like, well, damn, Olivia, you having a bad day or something? Shit. So Quinn feels bad that she can't get Sean pardoned. I mean, fuck, she had already told him that she was going to. Okay, so she's talking to Charlie about it, and Charlie is like, hey, don't worry about it. I mean, you know, we can always be gladiators and just gladiators. Ugh. It just won't be for Olivia anymore. I mean, we can move to Tahiti and we can become assassins together, or we can gladiate wherever we want to be, okay? As long as we're together, and that's not enough for Quinn. It is bothering her. So, next thing we see, she has made an appointment to see Fitz. She walks into the Oval Office, and at first she's taken aback. Okay, I hear from a lot of people. I mean, I don't know nobody that's been in the Oval Office personally, but you hear interviews when people say when they first go in there that it is quite overwhelming and intimidating being in that place. Okay, so she walks in, she's looking around like, wow, it's round. And you know, Fitz, yes, well, it is the Oval Office. What can I do for you? All right, well, we got this case, you know, Bobby the bigot. Sean, okay, he didn't do it. This other guy did it. You need to pardon him. He's in jail. He shouldn't be in there. Yada, yada, yada. He says, all right, well, what does Olivia think? Well, Olivia doesn't believe this. She thinks that it would be bad for you, that it would be controversial, that it's not the best decision to pardon him. But I am telling you that I feel it in my gut that it is, and that's what you need to do, and I'm not going to leave here until you sign this paperwork. Fitz was like, do you realize that I have people outside that can kill you for what you're saying to me? Okay, again, he's got to remind us of this power that he has. She was like, yeah, I understand that, but you know, I'm just not going to do it. He says, well, where is Olivia? She was like, well, I don't know. That's not my Olivia. Okay, my Olivia is a gladiator, and my Olivia fights for the people, and my Olivia does this, and my Olivia does that, and I was just like, child, we gonna get so much of that next season with it being the last season. I said, oh God. But she puts her foot down. Damn it, I'm not leaving until you sign this paperwork. You gonna go over everything. You gonna look at everything. You gonna understand what I'm saying. And Fitz takes the paperwork and he sits down to read it over. Marcus is packing up his office to go. Okay, he's no longer working at the White House as of next week. All right, when he's getting his stuff together, Melly walks in, and Melly was just like, hey, you know, I heard you leaving, but I really hate to see you go. What if you worked for me? And he was just like, yeah, no, that's okay, because Fitz has already given me a job with his foundation, and that's what I'm going to do. And she was just like, oh, you're going to go with Fitz, but you know you really want to be here, right? And he was like, no, I don't want to be here. You want me to be here. And she was just like, but still, you know, you would work where it's happening and all of that. And he says, listen, I didn't never take this job for any type of power or notoriety or, you know, fame or anything. I wanted to make a difference. And she was like, but you can make a difference if you stay here with me. And he says, yeah, I'm not Olivia Pope. In other words, I'm not blinded by power. I can take this job and I can leave it. And in this case, I am leaving it. All right. So good luck to you, Madam President. I'm out. Poor little Melly, I was just like, girl, you done lost you another man. This child can't hold on to nobody. So then we see Fitz, and he's in his interview, his final interview on television. They're questioning him about different things, his legacy, you know, what he leave behind in the White House. And he talks about the Brandon bill. And then he says, you know what, but even with the Brandon bill, I'm very proud of that. I could have done more. Okay. And that's why he has this foundation now. And he is going to make sure that the foundation is there to help out families that are struggling financially or emotionally, whatever they need when they are in these cases. Those who might be underrepresented in all these inner cities, and then he names off St. Louis, Chicago, then he says the D. Marcus just kind of smirks to himself. But, I guess we're supposed to see that Fitz actually did listen, which Fitz is like that. He gets up on his damn pedestal and then he thinks about it later and then he usually does the right thing. So, fine. Okay, so now Marcus is working for a foundation that he can believe in, working for a person who he believes he's on the same page with, so that's nice and tidy right there. Jake calls Abby and David and he says, I found out some shit about your girl. Y'all might want to come on by. Okay, so they go and Jake has the DNA. Old girl's name is Gertrude. It's like, why are they fucking with her like that? I mean, why did they have to be Gertrude? Anyway, Gertrude, he's gotten a camera into her apartment, and it's the apartment is nothing exciting, nothing going on in there, very clean, as I imagine that it would be. Usually crazy people are very hypercritical of their space, their personal space, and want to make sure that it's very clean. And then he also was able to get into her text messages, and it says that she was working for somebody else, which I thought that we already knew that because Samantha, Grace, Ponytail Day, okay, Gertrude, whatever the fuck her name is, she had already said that she was working for somebody else. She said that quite a few times, so I was like, it couldn't have just been her and Payas. Now we know that they're working for somebody, and I told you guys last week that I knew that this shit was going to be too nice and tidy and neat. Quinn goes back to Olivia Pope's office and she's happy that she's done what she's done. She was able to get this pardon for Sean. When Olivia makes it there, she sees Olivia and she says, listen, I know you're mad and I know you're going to be upset and I know I went over your head quite a bit, but it was the right thing to do, that this boy was not guilty and he's been in jail all this time. He's been suffering and I had told him he was going to get out and he needed to get out, so I had to go talk to the president and make sure that the shit was done. And Olivia just kind of turns her back and walks away from her. Quinn was like, wait a minute, don't you walk away from me when I'm talking to you. Okay, so Olivia walks up to this safe and then she starts giving her all this information about the safe and the codes and the this and the that, secret shit that only Olivia had known. And Quinn was just like, wait a minute, what are you doing? She was just like, was this a test? She's like, yes, this is a test. Okay, listen, I'm going to be in the White House now. I'm not going to be able to run Olivia Pope. I need to make sure that the person that is handling it would handle it the same way that I would. So now you're in charge. And Quinn is overwhelmed. Oh, wow, she can't believe it. This is her place. Let me go to my office and digest this. She said, oh, no, Quinn, baby, this is your office right now, baby. I'm going to the White House. Then we see David, okay, he says he is going to take Ponytail Day, Samantha, Grace, Gertrude, okay, throw her head in the Potomac, gonna move on with his life. I'm thinking to myself, why is David throwing her head in the Potomac? I mean, Jake is all, B316 or whatever the fuck it is. Why he couldn't get rid of the damn head? Anyway, Jake lets him know, I know who's been sending those text messages to old girl. Next thing we see Eli, and he's walking in the hangar on his way to a private jet, okay, he's got his bags in his hand, baby, it's all good. Patti LaBelle is also celebrating with him, okay, she's singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. White sands, blue waters, okay. As soon as he gets close to the airplane, a Suburban pulls up real fast and a woman jumps out. Sirs, please excuse me, you need to come with us. All right, who's us? Olivia jumps out. Me, Dad, you need to come with us right now. So, next thing you see him and Olivia walking in the bunker again. I said, here we go. Okay, you see, Patty is still singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. When he goes in the bunker, it's Fitz and Jake. Everybody's got this grave look on their face. You looking like, what the fuck now? Okay, I'm retired, nigga. I'm trying to get to these white sands and blue waters. They was like, yeah, well, we now found out about who they were working for, and we need your help. You're the only person that can do it. Okay, they hand him a file. He looks at it, he's like, absolutely not, no. She is not my problem. As soon as he said she, I said, oh, now we finally bringing Mama Pope back. And sure enough, when they pan the camera around, Patti LaBelle, she taking it home. She's like, child, there was Mama Pope. That bitch was was strolling down somebody's fucking hallway. I said, girl, you done finally made it on back, then dug her ass up out of that hole some which kind of way. So Eli is just so disgusted because the only reason why he knows he can't leave is because he has to protect his girl, Olivia. Okay, so then he's all disgusted. He's just like, oh, what do we know? What do we have on her? And then we see old Mama Pope. Sister girl is all put together. She's sitting at a bar. She's having a martini. She finishes and she tells the bartender to hit her again. Okay, I've been dirty. Listen, we all knew that Mama Pope was going to make it back eventually. It's been going around. Okay, people were complaining on Twitter that it was, you know, too predictable. And it was predictable, only because they have dragged it out all season. We were able to figure it out. If they would have did it in like 2 to 3 episodes, this whole ponytail day and the man, and then just like, bam, threw it on us, then we would have been surprised. But, you know, we 13 episodes in, of course we're gonna figure out that Mama Pope is probably behind it. So I got enjoyment out of it because it was more like we knew and we was just waiting for them to find out. All right, so that's how I looked at it, and it's fine because we know that Eli and Mama Pope are pretty much on equal level, and she's probably the only one that can give him the business the same way that he can give her the business. So we already know we got a good fight coming along. Okay, next week I said is the season finale, and then of course next year season 7 will be it for Scandal. So I was good with the episode, predictable, but it's all good. We finally getting to the meat now. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. Before I go, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, whether you have had a baby come out of your body or you are a mother to somebody who you nurture and take care of. Happy Mother's Day to all of us. You guys, Mother's Day is always it's just sort of a downer day for me, and you guys know why. I usually try to make the best of the day because I am a mother, and you know, when my family wants to celebrate with me, then that is a plus. And I love being a mother. It is the best, the most challenging, the hardest, the most rewarding job that I have ever had. And you know, I'm just y'all know how it is. Okay, I just miss my mom so much, and with my son being about to graduate, you know, it makes me sad that she can't be here for it. But you know, I know that she's watching down above, but it's been hard this year because of this what's coming up, you know, and I really would like for my mom to be able to have been here, but whatever. I was lucky to have her as long as I did. So anyway, you guys, I knew I was gonna do this. I was like, say Happy Mother's Day and just move on. But anyway, you guys, let me get off of here. You guys, like I said, Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right? All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.